All right, whenever you're ready.
You confirm we are live?
We are live. Twitch is not failing yet.
It's not failing
Yeah.
yet. Welcome to the Esober Elitists. I am your host, Esoteric, along with that's your cue, Sober. You gotta tell people who
Oh
you are.
fuck! Damn it. Hey, what's going on?
What
I'm
is
not
going on?
saying.
A lot's
I'm not
going
saying who the
on.
fuck.
It's Stanley Cup week or 239 Cup week. 239 Championship week?
Two three
It's
nine
It's
it's
not a
belt week.
cup.
it's the
It's the belt
belt.
week. It's the belt week. We got some peeps with us tonight. As usual, we'll get into that shortly. So you thought the bombs were gonna get it done, Sober? Is that what you thought? They
It
didn't get it
was. It
done.
was. It was that coin flip. Yeah. 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 They didn't
I
get
had
it
the
done.
boys. I thought they'd get it done, but like I said on the show last week, and I know I took some heat from it, especially from Daly. You guys are crazy, blah blah blah. Daly was shitting on the bombs all year, and all they did was win all year long. Would they have like 9 regulation losses? They won a lot, okay, but in the end, Steve, really drift. In the end,
I,
how sick are you, by the way? Jesus.
I
He's
clicked the button to mute
he
myself,
is
but I
West
unmuted
Nile.
myself and coughed.
Is it
Good
possible to
lord.
pass that shit through the fucking party?
It
That's
might
how
be.
I got it.
I don't know. You want me to fact check that or?
No, we do not need a fact check
Okay.
on that. But at any rate, I took a lot of heat for that, saying that I thought the bombs could pull it off if the planets aligned correctly. They ultimately didn't. Um, I think, in my opinion, what proved to be the difference was, I hate saying it, but if you guys watched that series, Steve was fantastic, and I was giving him a blowy all week on the website and in chats and everything else. Like if you watched the games, even the first game which they lost, they had no business even being in that game if it wasn't for Steve. So they did lose the first one in OT, but they came back and they did the thing and they won 4 straight against the Bombs. Sober, did you watch the series?
I watched a little of the first game and then I watched the last two. Well, most of the last two. The first nights it was really hard. We had a big party going and we were playing hockey as well. And it was me, Hugh, Legion, Yam, and Hugh was like 8 minutes behind on the feed.
Yeah.
So anytime we said something, he was like, "Ah, you motherfuckers," you know. So it's just kind of shutting your shit down and fucking.
Yeah. The Bombs did play good. Um, it just at times, like, I think they needed to put more shots on Steve. You saw in game one, they shot the puck like upwards of 25 times, and that's what it was going to take to beat the boys.
Yeah, and not only
They
not
weren't.
only putting shots on, it was the quality of the shots though too. Um, so they threw
Yeah, I mean,
25 shots on, so they were throwing it from anywhere and everywhere. And then as they're getting a little bit more on the we need to score front, it was more let's try to get to the front of the net before we shoot it type of game from what I
yeah,
noticed.
and against good goalies, by the way, both of the goalies in the series are top notch. You had Cripps on one end and Steven on the other end. A lot of times, the way to beat those guys is literally to just pepper them. I mean, from everywhere, because you know how this game is. Even if it's not considered a good shot, you've seen that shit go in on elite
Hmm.
goalies. It doesn't matter who you are. It can go in on fucking Steven, Cripps, or Legion. It doesn't matter. That shots like that can trickle in, and in 2-1 games, when you take 25 plus shots, that's why the Bombs did it in game one. They weren't able to do it though for the rest of the series. So I think that kind of hindered them a little bit. But it was a fun series to watch, and now you got the Sales versus the boys. Having said that, obviously I brought a representative from each team this week. Sober, we got representing the boys is Drift King, obviously. Drift, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Steven, Drift. I like how I call you Drift. I never once knew you as Drift King,
Yeah,
but I know.
that gamer tag's been gone for 2 years. So, 2 years. So,
Yeah.
It's still alive in our
Well,
hearts,
we,
though.
You're on to do the bidding for daily as usual. That's 3 weeks in a row, by the way. We never have repeat guests like that, so we appreciate you coming on, man, and representing the boys and doing the bid for daily. He wasn't really impressed with your performance last week on the show. I don't know if
He
he
told
gave
me
you that.
he told me he was bullshitting when he gave me shit on the air. Like, couldn't really do much when it was just fucking the inmates running the asylum here.
Okay, that was a show where we had
Do you-
Legion as a guest, and I don't know what you
I
think
mean,
was
yeah,
going to happen,
I mean,
but
I didn't expect
yeah.
differently, but then we
You mean
started having
Drift King's
impromptu
dad?
guests.
So on that note, do you have a script to follow tonight, Drift?
No, I have like one stash from him, but that's it.
Yeah, like that's what my other question was going to be. Does he feed you like, okay, man, when you go on there tonight, this is what I need you to talk about? Does he give you any of that or no?
No, just I asked him if he has any facts that might be useful, and he just sends them to me.
Okay, see, all right. Anyways, representing the Black Sails tonight, we have Jumbo Joe Thornton. Hello, Joe.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for
kinda-
having me.
Kind of weird
Been
to hear a
dying to
shout
get
out
on
to
this
you,
show,
man.
so. Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, I don't even think it needs to be said. I'm going to say it because the fans have to hear it. Shout out to Joe, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, but you know what? I hear this thing's fading. It's
Fading?
not.
What?
It's losing popularity. That's what I'm hearing.
How did it
Oh,
start?
motherfuck.
Yeah, how did it start? That brings me to my third guest. Representing the Jaeger Bombs, the newly eliminated Jaeger Bombs, Stealth Luca D,
Ooh.
two-way
You had to
forward
rub that in.
extraordinaire. It wasn't a rub-in, but it was just,
It was a nut
look,
tap.
man, you guys,
That's what it was.
yeah. You tapped our nuts, and then the boys flicked yours back and
He can
give you a
he
little.
can use the human contact after his team left him to dry on the offensive side.
Luca, how did that whole thing start, man? The shout out to Joe shit, because some people don't even get it.
Oh. Give him the real story.
Okay, so before this past season started, I was on Throwdown, and I wasn't really paying attention to my TV. I was in the dressing room. I forgot I was on there, and Joe was in there, and he left a message, and he's like, something about shout out. So I wasn't thinking when I read it. I'm like, oh, Joe says shout out, by the way. And everyone just took it the wrong way, saying, oh, he's telling everyone that he wants a shout out. And basically, it started by accident. So now everyone just keeps running away with it. So now we gotta keep it going.
Basically, now Joe, your whole thing is, I'm gonna let you say it, but like you have a whole thing about like what you meant and what you're supposed to do when you see something like that.
Okay, what happened was I wrote, hey, Luca, you're going on the show. Here's, I wrote, hey, I'm a big fan of the show. Can I get a shout out? I was assuming he was just going to say shout out to Joe Thornton, but what actually happened was he read the exact text, so it made me look pitiful, and that's just not how it was supposed to go down. But I guess he didn't
regardless,
see the TV, is what he said.
But regardless, you still wanted a shout out. And you.
So wait, why?
I would have said
why are we shouting out Dare Cortez now?
Yeah,
to
that's
deflect away. Joe doesn't want the spotlight.
No,
We just gotta stop all the shoutouts.
I'm just thinking of everybody who's in this party and on this show right now. Nobody here knows Joe Thornton like me. Nobody. Okay, so when he writes to Luca, I'm gonna translate. I speak Joe here. When he writes, "Hey man, give me a shout out on the show," he really does want the shout out. Like he wants you to say that, but he doesn't want you to do it in the way you did it because this is how his mind works, and it makes him look pitiful in his mind, like he's begging for a shout out, which he was begging for a shout out, right? Like that's kind of what he was doing
begging,
there.
But
okay, well, I mean,
If you didn't want one, you wouldn't have wrote it. So.
I just got a
Anyway,
message in Luca, by the way, live message.
Yeah.
I'm not. Do you want to know who it's from, or do you want me to tell you what the message says first? Because it's directed at
Do
you.
the message. Do the message. I'll hear. It's probably daily or
read it.
something.
Let me read it verbatim here so that I don't fuck it up.
It's got to be from Daly.
Luca's voice is so smooth. And then there's another part to this sentence. But if I say it,
Okay.
you're gonna know who it's from.
Just
I'm
keep
gonna read
saying
it. Luca's voice is so smooth, I don't even want to see his feet, man.
Oh, it's cheap therapy.
As soon as you said that
Actually,
statement,
it's-
that's what like gave it away.
It's
like
it's foot
I
therapy.
want to put it to rest.
Mm-hmm. He also has there's gonna be this Delaware Park thing in November that a lot of the boys and girls
No
are getting
thanks.
together to hang out. Yeah, we didn't ask you to come, so that's okay, man. But yeah, Chu is gonna be there, and he was requesting that if you can possibly wear sandals, that would be. He's flying a long way to be here, and all he's asking is for sandals. So, if you
Gotta
guys
go
could
with
hook him up,
Hmm.
yeah. He even
I
said
don't
too,
go
like
with-
one can be in a sock, and the other one not.
There's
He's good with it.
no Delaware Park, no Blue Jays games, no nothing.
Jesus, there's a reference. Haven't heard that one in a long time.
Explain
What's
the
that one
reference
now?
now, so at least everyone understands it.
I'd rather not talk about it.
It's a dark, dark time.
This
in your
must be
life,
from the
isn't it,
past. Yeah.
Someone was inviting
Ask-
people
you know
from
what?
Toronto to go
Ask
to like
Alcor.
a Blue Jay game together, and they asked everyone. Luca was in the party. Luca happened to be like 16 at the time, and it was a guy who was like 35. He probably didn't know that Luca was 15 or 16.
and the talk about it was
Okay.
was weird, to say the least.
It was me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like broken telephone. The guy seems like a rapist now, but I'm sure he didn't like. I'm sure he wasn't gonna do anything to Luca.
No. We just took it the
How
wrong
do you know
way.
that for sure?
It was. I don't want to
I know
find
what?
out. so.
I can't, but you know what?
Didn't he switch his? Didn't
No.
he switch his gamer tag to?
He
Uncle
changed his
something?
he changed his name to Uncle Jay, and at the time there was the AHL for the Moose, and a captain named their team Touched by an Uncle,
Yep.
and he got drafted on that team. He played on that team, and he's like, "Whoa, why is it my name? Why they named it?"
The Claudia,
Touched by an
I
Uncle.
just took a bong rip.
Hey, you wanna go to the Blue Jays game? Yeah, that's fucking how he talked.
Well, we'll get back to the series here, Luca.
Yeah.
What could you guys have done, man? I mean, they
Score.
mopped you up after. Yeah, okay. Well, I was on the nut taps, and we know all about that, and we couldn't do it either. So, was the chemistry not there? I hate using that word, Dom Silver. If you're listening, #Chem.
Oh God. Please no.
Yeah. But was it not there, or was it like maybe one guy trying to do too much? That one guy maybe being you because you felt like you had to? Because I didn't
No.
feel like you were ever out of position defensively. So.
It wasn't me trying to do too much. It wasn't #Chem. Oh. It was their team just played better than our team when it came down to it. Daly played really well. The first game he didn't play up to his standards. He still played good, but they took too many penalties the first game. We shot and shot and shot, and we won. The next two games we had like 16 and 17 shots, I believe, but we just couldn't score. And then that whole series, they're all close games. We couldn't score any goals. Also some bad luck, hitting some posts, missing pucks, bumping into each other. They just played better as a team, and we didn't.
Yeah,
hold on,
I mean that's
I
kind of what I
wanna-
saw too.
I wanna
Go
do a
ahead, Drew.
fact check on the shots from game 1 to 5, but I also want to give Luca credit because the first series during the season, I thought he was trying to do too much. During the playoff series, I mean, he dished the puck as much as he could. He back checked like a fiend, but I mean, you can't expect one person to win a series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was. I mean, Sniper looked good out there. Dunn looked good out there. It's just that team was built a certain way, and at the end of the day, when you have to outscore a team that's really good at scoring, at times, and the boys. I mean, I know they've had their struggles too, but I just think with Thamps and Dolly and Rome up front, I think that core was better suited to win this series than the Jagerbombs core. I think that's what happened there.
I'm gonna
I remember
cancel
one
that
of the
fact
g-
check, by the way.
one of the games, because Sniper plays on Daly's side. He was trying to skate in the zone, and Daly's back was like turned to him, and he just ever so slightly like nudged him. He didn't even touch him, and he went. Sniper went offside, and he just lost. He's like, he didn't even touch me. Oh my God.
The one
And
thing,
our
too,
whole
Luca, I want to
yeah.
ask you, the second night when you guys were playing, did you notice any difference in your D pair? The way that they're playing, like a little kind of, not, I don't want to say forcing it a
The
little
second
bit.
night,
Yeah. Like they felt,
um,
they kind of felt, I
well,
don't know what the word would be to describe it, but
I'm trying to think exactly. So the series against boys, we just didn't play how we usually played. Like in our own zone, we would have quick breakouts. Because if you get hemmed in, Rome and their wingers will steal it off us and generate chances, and they scored. So that's how they scored most of their goals. The second night, I think maybe a little bit nervous, anxious, but not too much.
I
We
noticed a
played
lot
pretty
more
much similar.
the long pass breakouts or the oh my god, throw it around the net and there's nobody on that side. They're already pretty much out of the zone type of deal.
Yeah, that also happened the first night. It just didn't happen as much. But it's just we weren't playing properly together. We weren't really talking as much as we did. I don't know. I guess when you're not playing as well, you get more quiet and pissed off to a degree. So I think that's what happened. But it's not for a lack of trying. Like I think we lost what by 2 goals. We weren't blown out. Just couldn't
No,
score.
no, and Joseph,
Yes.
you guys take care of the business barely, frighteningly. Is that a word? Did I say that? Frighteningly? Yeah, frighteningly. It was frightening. You had a 3-1 lead. You go in there, you lose the next 2 games. You give a 3-0 lead in Game 7. You blow that lead, and now you have to go to OT in a series where, on the back end of that series, you guys looked shaky as hell. What happened, man?
Well, I guess they were just more desperate than we were, and we turned it over quite a few times, especially our breakouts were not the greatest. Cost us a few times, but we were clutch when it mattered. Won it in overtime, the best way to win it. And we managed to get a lot of points along the way, going 7 games. So I'm happy about that.
For anyone that doesn't know, Joe loves stats. He's a big fan of stats.
Yeah, well, you
Not-
know what?
not-
That's what people look at, man. Because if you look at the fucking All-Star ballot, it's all the D men get rated on their point system, so it's not plus minus.
I know,
it's
man.
strictly goals, assists, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the world we live in.
In video game hockey too, Joe, and I know you'll agree with me because you talk about this, like, especially for D-men, you need, like, I think when I look at the D-men in the league, I don't even look at their stats, their numbers, nothing. They mean nothing to me. I look at
Thank
them.
you.
It's the eye test. The eye
Yes.
test.
Mm-hmm.
Does it suck to play against them, or is it easy to play against them? Is it relatively easy to create space and get open? Stuff like that. You know, guys
Bingo.
like yourself, guys like Drug Monkey RX, guys like Moose, guys like Daly, so forth and so on. I couldn't even tell you what those guys have for points. I have no idea. All I know is it sucks to play against them. So when I'm doing Norris voting, stuff like that, I don't even look at it. I just look for the
Yeah.
names on the ballot because I know they're going to be there, So,
Yeah, and that's what makes you a good captain, man.
or maybe just a good voter.
Maybe.
I hope everyone votes like that. But I
They
don't know,
should.
man.
I mean,
agree.
everyone is not going to do that. Chew Therapy opened up the votes and immediately voted for himself. I was probably like not even one of the three.
Or out of the group
There's
who
no
showed
way
their
he
feet.
gave you a vote.
Yeah.
Why'd you already?
Oh,
That's
there is
perfect
no way he
example.
gave you a vote.
Why are you
Yeah.
throwing shade already, Steve?
I'm not throwing shade. That's a fact. I could fact check it, but I mean, you don't have to look anywhere.
I just got a message confirmation, and I quote, "You're not wrong, bud." So there you go. Here's your fact check. He definitely didn't throw you a vote.
I didn't even need the fact checker yet.
Yeah.
Now, what's this fact check thing?
Well,
Haven't voted
going
yet,
into
so.
this thing, going into these finals, Joe. I've heard tons of people going either way, man. It's funny. It's like no one thinks like they think one way or the other. Like they're like, oh, definitely the Sales, or oh, definitely the boys. Like I tell you up front, man, I'm in the camp of I think you're not gonna like this, man, but I think the boys are gonna do it. I know you're.
Okay,
I knew
no,
you
that's
wouldn't
okay.
like it,
It's okay.
but you're here to tell me why I'm wrong.
We've got more
So,
heart.
please.
Oh,
Ooh. Intangibles.
D-Mart alone,
More heart.
his heart, man. Fuck, he's got a heart
Mhm.
of a lion. He wants to
Mhm.
win this thing more than anyone, I think.
I mean, he definitely tries hard, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's a great player, man, and I don't see, now you got me thinking, like it's almost he's not gonna let you guys lose. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
and it'd be nice to know too if the boys are gonna have roster conflicts or
We're gonna have our full lineup.
for
so they're
sure.
gonna get the best of the boys.
Without days being mentioned yet, you're for sure gonna have your full lineup.
I think we figured out the days. I think he's figured.
It's
I'll
Monday,
check and I'll
Thursday.
let you know. and
Monday,
stuff.
Thursday.
Okay. See this guy's on
Yeah,
it.
4 on
Fact
Monday
check.
and 3 on Thursday. Fact check, yeah.
Hey, yeah, fact check.
Say fact check one more fucking time.
Well, I'm trying to get this guy a little airtime. Like, just fact check it. Check what the schedule is.
An eagle
Can
can,
we-
kill a young deer and fly away with it. Hashtag fact check.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, there you go.
don't acknowledge him. Just keep talking.
What the fuck was that?
Fact checker. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the
Sorry, fact
fucking
checker.
yeah, it's kind of like the fucking what is that called, the thing that you could talk to. Fucking fact check that shit. They kind of like Siri.
All right,
we need a-
fucking,
No, you're
Oh,
turning the
okay.
fact checking into a joke. Here for an important reason. Let's move on.
fact check that.
We need a shout out checker. Just for Joe.
A button shout out checker.
Yeah, man.
We should
Shout
move
out.
back-
And you know
Move
what?
back to the boys and the Jaeger bombs for a little bit, and then we can settle that.
Oh, that's
Jeez,
cool. No, I
let's-
didn't
It's
let's
like
realize
Jeff's
you were
flop
running
in
the
back and
show.
forth.
What the fuck?
What?
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
we're
yeah,
flip flopping
show,
back
man.
and forth.
Didn't we
Because
just
that's what we
talk about
do.
this? I don't want to talk about
We
this.
just talked
anymore.
about that. Yeah. We already rubbed. Luca's not here for misery, dude. He's here for neutral views. So,
Hey,
Luca,
he shouldn't be miserable. He played his best. He played good.
he got fucking floored off the ice in 5 games, just like the Nut Taps got floored off the
He-
team. We don't want to
he
talk
didn't.
about it.
He didn't.
Okay,
So
he's
Luca,
part of that
tell
team,
us,
so yes,
tell
he
us
did.
why the Sales are gonna beat the boys.
He made the games close.
The Sales are not going to beat the boys. That's my
Oh,
prediction.
Ooh.
So you're
So
you're on their
Luka-
side.
Well,
There's no.
I'm a little
There's
biased.
right
'cause I
and
just
there's
played-
wrong.
I just played against them. I haven't played against the Sales in a long time, but I just think their defense and their team defense will just constrict the Black Sails, and I think they'll squeak out some wins. I think boys will win in 6.
6 doesn't even give us 7.
Well, if you get to 7,
Well,
I don't know. You might blow it.
you'll be
DMARC can't score 4
you'll
goals
be
every
done in
game.
5, so don't worry about 6 or 7.
Whoa. Here we go.
Wow.
Shots fired. Get him.
Oh, Marty. Marty McFly's playing poker with us right now.
With all
and he
due respect,
devastated me. Yes.
You gotta finish
no,
your
I mean
sentence.
I mean like he'll be done in 5. With all due respect, like I'm not chirping him. I just think 5 games is all it's gonna take.
Well, I said 6. So, like,
how do you say this?
I don't
not
know
chirp?
how
But I
that's
mean-
bad.
Based on what though? I mean, when have the sales gone on a losing streak that bad to lose 4 out of 5 at any point
mean,
this
who-
season?
Never happens.
Who's playing night 1 for you guys?
37?
I have no idea. It's the main 3 up front, and then I believe NCR and me, and then 37. Oh no, it's gonna be Soup and me on back on defense, and then 37 in goal.
Oh, so pretty much the same split as last time. I mean, our team defense I think is a little too strong for you guys, and our offense is gonna abuse the hell out of Superstar all night, the first night. So, I mean, after
I think we'll be
night
fine.
1,
So he wasn't chirping. Now he's chirping.
Superstar's not a defenseman. Like, sorry,
Yeah, I
to
agree
everybody
with
if
that.
he's listening,
he's done
but
very
not a
well for
defenseman.
us.
Is he a winger?
I don't know. Back to Esoteric's eye test. I mean, I was cringing watching him play.
Hey, maybe we should fact check what the goals against are when Soup plays D.
That might take a little
I
bit,
mean-
but if the fact checker wants to get on
He's
that,
not.
that's
okay,
fine.
no, hold on. Fact checker's not going to get on that. He's here for important stats.
Oh, so
I mean,
you're
how
running
bad
the
is
fact
it
check?
that our
Oh,
team-
Jesus.
Is our team has
Is-
5 forwards, and we're still killing every single other team. We're playing with
And I was
5
going to get to
forwards
that
out there.
too. I was going to
I
get
feel
to
like
that.
it's gonna come down to the goalie against the forward line for each of the teams, because if you put me matched up against Legion or 37, I mean, I destroy them. It's not a competition. It's gonna come down to whose forward line produces, and if the goalie's
But
gonna stop it or not.
They do have DMARC, and he's just another human. He can always just take over a game.
I mean, you saw Game 7.
mean-
He took over. He scored all 4 goals. For the
Yeah,
win.
he
does.
didn't do
He
I
took
don't
that.
know.
over.
They-
And you know, Daly has hashtag man love for fucking DMARC. Is that going to change the way Daly plays this game because he understands that DMARC's on the ice?
I mean, we
And
already
DMARC
beat the top line they're gonna run with on Monday night. At some point, they're gonna have to play Legion, and
Okay,
That's
you
gonna
beat
probably
us
be the end.
twice out of 3 times. All the games were 3-2, and twice in overtime. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
I mean, I'm not
Sure.
gonna say they're not gonna be blowouts, but I think our team defense and the way we've been playing recently is nothing compared to, how we were playing while we faced you halfway through the schedule. We weren't playing too well.
And Joe, you got to like
I
this,
think we
man.
I
It's
think we all
DMARC
heated
versus
up
Odd Guy.
at the right time.
Do you like that matchup?
I'll take that matchup all day.
I thought you might. And that's no slight to Odd Guy, but come on. I think,
No,
he's been playing with Daly and everything, and he's way upped his game and his draft stock and all that stuff. But if you're a black sales guy, you gotta like that matchup, and you gotta expect them to go to that well throughout the series. So, because whose job is it to score on Daly?
I mean, credit to Daly. He's been a rock on defense all season.
That'd be Burks.
But yeah, Burks will take him.
And you, Joe, man, Berkey's our guy. 10+ years now, he's been our guy. Do you
Yep.
think? Do you think for a minute that Daly's gonna let him pull his shit? Daly knows how to play.
yeah.
It's
So I'd
Daly's
worry
played
about
years with all of them. He's not worried. He knows all your tendencies. He's not worried at all about that.
Okay, well then they should know his too, though.
Hashtag
I
message
don't
from
know.
Daly.
He's not.
Well, that didn't take very long, eh?
I think I think Berkey can adjust, but I don't think Berkey's going to undress Daly. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's going to happen at all. So he's gonna
but then,
Berkey's smart though. He's gonna figure out other ways to make it happen. He's gonna dish it off, to D-Mart or Hugh Laurie or even back to the
Hughes
D or
no slouch
whatever in a
either,
good
so.
position to score. I
Yeah,
told you
we'll be
he's
fine.
that's my guy, man. Hugh, I thought had one of the best years out of anyone this year. So
Mm-hmm.
having said that, having said that,
Ta-ting.
what do you got, Sober? Tell me something.
What do I got? Are we still talking hockey?
Talk about. Do we ever have a format? Just do what you want.
No, the one thing I'll say about that series is if Daly takes away Burke, say he just eliminates Burks out of the play, right? That leaves Odd against T-Mart. And like you said, no offense to Odd, 90% of the time the Ford's gonna win the fucking thing anyways, just because that's the way the game's set up. But you're leaving one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, by himself on that side.
To shoot on one of the best goalies too. Don't forget.
True.
So I just don't. Yeah, he's gonna make some moves on Odd, and he might get past Odd here and there. But that's a team structure D, and you got Steven in there. I mean, D-Mart's gonna get his points.
Wait.
You cannot hold that guy off the board. It's not possible.
Who specifically are we talking about right now? Just Emart, or are we talking about Burks?
Everybody. But I mean, what Sober's saying is, if you eliminate Burks, that leaves Dan on Odd guy. Let's just say Daly squashes Burks.
Yep.
Which may or may not happen. Who knows? Berkey's got moves, man. But my whole point was, yeah, D-Mart's going to do his thing, but he's still shooting on Steve. So I mean, if you
Okay,
think he's
but
just going to light up
realistically-
7-8 goals, I don't think he's going to do
that
that.
goal-
Anything can happen. He produced during our series, but he only had like one goal himself. And then when he leaned on Burks, I think Burks had 2 points against Daly. So Burks isn't your go-to guy to get around Daly if D-Mark gets shadowed the entire time at the blue line.
And who won your regular season series?
We did 2-1. The last game was
2-1.
overtime, 3-2. They
Okay,
won in
so it was
overtime,
close.
3-2. Yeah, I think they're all 3-2, 3-2 regulation games, and then 3-2 in overtime for them.
And I'll get to my thing here, Drift, and this is not really. This is more to Joe more than anything. And now I'm not running that team. Obviously, I ran my team out of the playoffs already, so congrats to me. But I would stack as much as you could on line one. I mean on night one, and I know captains hate doing that, but I think this is such a hard matchup for both teams, and the goaltending absolutely goes to the boys. That's not even a question. I would run 37 and NCR for 4. That's what I would do, and hope to come out 3-1. Just kind of like you did before. I mean, I know you split it before, but I really think you guys need to come out 3-1 out of night one if you want to win this series. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on strategy at this point.
Okay, well,
I mean,
obviously
first
you're
of
not
all-
going to comment on
First of all,
strategy.
shout out to Hugh Laurie for being easy for the scheduling, because scheduling with Dunn last week was just a nightmare. Guy wanted everything to go his way. We let him pick
Oh.
the days, and then last second
That's
tries
a
to pull.
message from Daly.
Oh, I get to pick. No, he isn't. Daly probably let it go. I'm not gonna let him go.
Luca, you want to chime in on that, or it's not your? I
Well-
mean, you weren't the captain, but do you know anything about it?
Hey, while this
Oh.
whole argument was happening,
Okay.
I thought about messaging Luke and telling him to talk to his fucking dumbass captain because it was ridiculous. We let him pick the
I
days,
didn't know what
and
happened.
then at the last
I
second
wasn't
tries
involved.
to decide how many games, what night, when we're
Well-
missing players.
All I know is that as soon as we won our series, like very quick after, I think Daly was messaging Dunn about choosing days, and I think Dunn told him that Valcor, he was on vacation and he didn't respond. He didn't know when he could be back. I think Valcor came back Monday night. He would have been
I mean, he
tired.
said
He couldn't play.
you said Valcor was on vacation and he could
Yeah,
only play
till
Wednesday,
Monday.
Thursday. So we gave you guys Wednesday, Thursday, and then after that
Okay.
was sorted out, Dunn thought for some reason we'd agree, knowing we were missing Dolly to play 4 on Wednesday, which was not going to fucking
Oh.
happen.
Well, also the
And then
schedule.
then he tried to wait. Hold on. Then he tried to pull a power move and started saying, "Well,
Okay, that series
top
is over,
seed
right?
gets to pick." Yeah, well, you know what? There's still wounds from it.
That's a fact.
I didn't know
See,
you
there's
could be a
facts.
sore winner.
Right, Luca? The guy's a
You say
sore
sore
winner.
winner.
It's
Holy fuck,
He's a sore winner.
Joe! If you beat this dude in the cup, man, I don't know if I'm gonna have him on the show.
Oh, you got to.
It might get ugly.
You gotta get.
Joe
You gotta.
Joe
no,
Thornton
you gotta
has
get his
done
dad
nothing
on
for me to
Legion.
be sour if we lost, which won't happen.
Wait,
what if Joel puts up a
what?
hattie on you game 1?
Okay, dude. First of
Mm.
all, if you don't have that defense in front of you, do you actually think you have the same stats? And I'm not asking for an answer. I'm just.
They had
I
the
want you to
exact-
reflect on that. I don't want an answer. I just want you to reflect on that for a second.
It's not a rhetorical question because the exact same defense had Legion behind them last year, and I have like a whole goal against lower than Legion. Actually, not
So-
even a goal against. He had
so
like
I'm-
3.2 or something.
I'm just gonna throw this out there too.
I was at
Doesn't
1.8.
Legion have one of the best stats right now as a goalie? Even though he, games played and shit, but
Not his save
He has
percentage, no.
He has like
But
a
he's got a
730
good record
save
though.
percentage.
Yeah.
Legion, no, he's up there.
Steve.
He's in the 800s.
Steve, is that how you learned to be such a great goalie? Like father, like son?
was it genetics?
That's
Really
my wife's
wanted.
yelling
I
at me
really
during the
wanted
show.
his daddy to
This is
come.
good. Hold on, let's see what this is about. What?
Get her on the show.
I threw my wet towel on the bed. My B.
Okay, I mean the fact checker's
Sorry.
been pretty free. Fact checker, can you quickly look up Legion's stats when he was playing in front of Odd and Daly, the exact same D pair, and tell him what his stats were compared to mine for a full season?
We gonna wait on that?
Take your
Is that a
time.
real
Take
fact?
your,
check
take
you're
your,
looking
no,
for?
take your time. We'll keep talking. Let him do his
That's
thing. When he's
that's like a
ready, he'll
year
say
ago,
something.
a season ago.
I know, but you can't say it's all my defense, and then they have the exact same goalie on their side that had the exact same D pair, and his stats didn't say anything about the D in front of him. It said something about the goalie quality.
I don't think anyone's disputing that. I just think what Joe's saying is, I think what he's trying to
Not
say
that
is, man,
great.
you're good, but what? Okay, what was that,
Yeah,
Joe? I was
yeah.
trying to be diplomatic. No, go ahead.
He said I'm not that great. I heard him.
Good, but
Oh, okay.
not great.
I would have liked to see it, and this once again isn't a shout out against you. I voted for you in the goddamn goalie shit. I'm just wondering, how do you think you would have faced if you would have been on, say, I don't know, Gunny's team with that D pair?
I think we would have been competitive. I mean, I got drafted first round as a goalie for God knows what reason, and we made it to the playoffs on a bad team.
Not this year. That was you're talking
Well,
about
yeah,
2
not
years ago.
not this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
what
like,
wasn't
I
it?
got dra-
It
like,
wasn't that in
it's
the
a death
most
sentence.
uncompetitive season though.
It was like a season or two ago. It's not
Yeah,
that.
so
It's not like
hashtag
season 0.
2. You know, the most uncompetitive season. Remember that? Remember that statement?
Okay, it's all a matter of perspective. You can't tell
Oh.
me, oh, you ran over everyone, but there's no defense on any teams, and I'm a goalie in the least competitive season with not many good defensemen. I had the harder time, not a
but
forward
you have,
just
but
scoring
you have
goals
the top
with no one defending.
defenseman,
Shit.
right?
When did I had the top defenseman in season 2?
No, no. So
Mute your
that's
mic,
what
let's
I'm
move
just.
on. Like I think I had Hollywood Bob and like Zelo on D or something like that.
No, Zelo was on the team.
We made the playoffs.
In Season 3, Legion posted a .711 save percentage, 3.74 goals allowed. This season,
Hashtag
with Daly
robotic
on
voice.
defense, Time to Get Steven has posted a 0.912 save percentage, 1.04 goals allowed in the playoffs.
All right,
Yeah,
man. Well,
play a
those are the
mic drop
facts.
sound effect.
I mean,
But do they have the
Facts are
defensive
facts,
forwards that they have this season compared to that season? I don't think so.
They also had Thams. They had a lot of this roster that I'm in front of.
They didn't have King Rome though.
Yeah,
no,
well,
Rome
they
was
they
not
had
even in the league.
Didn't they have Esso? Didn't they have you?
No.
They had
Uh-oh.
desired
Okay,
customers.
no, I'm thinking of Daly's team. I'm talking about the Legion one.
That fucking voice.
It was Desired Customs. Yep.
Okay, he's all right.
He's a good two-way forward, yeah. No doubt. But,
Odd Guy was also on the team in Season 3 with Legion and Daly. However, he was a traffic cone.
okay, well,
That's not a fact. That's the fact checker thinking he's a comedian now.
The Fat Checker's a robot. How is he a fucking comedian?
I don't know. Fucking comedian upgrade. Shut the fuck up. Let's go. Next question.
Alexa.
Did
I do want to switch gears here for a second. Because, I mean, we've covered the playoffs a lot here. We've covered who's going to win, yada, yada. We'll get to predictions at the very end of the show. I kind of wanted to switch gears, man. I want to talk about everyone's love to hate recently in the past few weeks here. Dank Love, a.k.a. Santeria. Yes. Which, the way gamertag changes go around here, like, you can't, like, no one's going to be able to call him that. So the gamer thing is almost pointless, but...
You better have a hot chick as a fucking avatar, like a hot Mexican chick.
Nah, it's like the Sublime Sun thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
you know
that Santeria song there? Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be a Sublime fan. But
Cortez probably played it for him
and
on
again,
his guitar.
It's possible. I'm not going to bat for the guy or whatever. I'm just kind of throwing the facts out there. I got a lot of friends, man, that have had a lot of run-ins with this guy. Marty here. I don't know if whoever. There's been a whole shitload. Legion says he's a shitbird.
Hi.
So forth, so on. What's that?
Hi. I started on his team last season.
Oh yeah, yourself. So here's the thing. Like, this is my opinion. And first of all, just to get this right out there, he's come out and apologized to the league. I mean, he made a post about it and whatever. Like, I think he sees what he did and ruffled a lot of feathers, especially his whole team. He had to bench himself in the playoffs. Nobody wanted to play with him. It was kind of a mess, right?
That kind of threw it out there. When he
that's
had to
what
bench
kind of
himself
got
in
this to the
playoffs, it's
forefront.
Like, what?
Yeah, but the thing is, so first of all, good on him for admitting it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys wouldn't do that, and a lot of guys would just continue to be themselves and play themselves into a Rule 1 category. But it looks like he's trying to turn it around a little bit. Basically, he was a nightmare to play for as a captain, from what I'm understanding from, at least 10 plus people. It just wasn't fun. Like, if anybody made a mistake, you'd hear about it. I mean, Sober, you played on his team, so you could probably speak to it a little more. I just kind of wanted to throw it out there, man, that looks like he's trying to turn it around. I noticed it on the site the other day. I thought it was cool, and like, he posted a status about it, and like, a bunch of people liked it and saw it. Like, Legion liked it even, like, whatever. Any thoughts on, do you think this guy can turn it around? And since he's not captaining again next year, where do you think he goes in the draft? Because he can put up points, right? But a lot of people didn't like his play style. So where do you think a guy like him goes next year? Like, he's in swagger area right now.
Here, end with me. You can start on that. Let's do a fat checker.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can end this topic on me.
What?
Just don't worry about it.
Well, you can't say let's go to a fact checker. What the
Well,
fuck?
he's a
His
comedian.
job's to fact check.
The robot's a comedian, so I wanted a funny story coming out of that.
He adds humor to his facts, but he's not a comedian.
Oh, my bad. But end with me on this topic. Please.
End with you on this topic?
Yeah.
All right, Luca, where do you think Dank Love gets drafted next year?
Um, he's playing the same position, I'm assuming, right wing or whatever.
He's a forward. I mean, I don't see
Okay.
him playing anything but forward. I don't know really where, but
It would also depend on who's being a captain, but I think second round,
so you
middle
still think
second
he
round,
goes fairly high then?
probably.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
because
think
he can
any
put up
captain
points.
can allow him to go any lower than that, just to keep the teams balanced. Because he's a good player. Just keep him in line.
He's a good player, but you've already heard from a lot of people that they don't like playing with him. Number one, because of his attitude. Now, if he changes that, then it's a non-issue. But number two, his play style. Again,
Well,
this was another Swagger thing. A lot of people did not like to play with Swagger because of his play style. In it, so maybe he does fall to round 3. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's a real possibility, depending on what your captain list is, that guy who scored, I don't know how many points he had. Maybe we can get a fact check on that, but I'm pretty sure it was 90-ish.
he can get
90
like
points.
90. Yeah, something
Yep,
like that.
there you go.
Good
So,
job,
you know,
fact
a guy
checking.
who had
So
90 points could end up going in the 3rd round
yeah,
because
you know,
nobody wants to take a chance.
you know how you talked about that some people don't like playing with him. Apparently, isn't
Mhm.
that the same case? Well, with Brick City, some people don't like how he plays, but he's still puts up points, gets drafted high.
I haven't heard anyone say they don't like playing with Brick, but
I've heard Figo
Well, a
say
few
maybe.
it,
people.
but
Yeah, I
Well,
think maybe
apparently,
you meant Figo.
well, a few people in their parties say they always argue and bicker and they mute each other. So
yeah.
I don't know what's the scenario, but I don't think a lot of people like playing with people that are muted. Can't really communicate with each
Oh,
other.
okay. Well, those two are like brothers practically, right? They've been play together all the time. So like when they argue and bicker and shit, like that's their thing.
Oh,
Now I don't know if they're carrying that over to like, you know, let's say like you happen to be in a line with them and all of a sudden they start chirping you and you don't really, you're not on that level with them. So yeah, that would probably irk you, you know. So maybe that's
I
a
wouldn't
thing,
really
but
care.
yeah, I'm just using, you know, as an example, like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
that doesn't know them that well, and you know they start getting on them, and Figo starts throwing out the N bombs and shit, you know, and
28 and counting.
you know, yeah. Um, Jumbo, where do you think a guy like Dank goes next year?
Well, forwards in this league are so easy to come by. I would say probably late second. I mean, my draft strategy, if I was a captain, I would draft the top 5 forwards, the ones that everybody knows are going to go early, and then I would go D, right to probably the end or start of the second.
Right, like the top echelon D being you. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if I'll
I
be
was just
playing
trying to
D
get you to
next
say
year.
that out loud. Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm a good guy. I wouldn't do that.
Shout out
Yes,
to
you
Joe.
would. First of all, yeah,
Shut
man.
up.
Shout out to Joe, man. Shout out, Luca.
But
You
yeah,
got a
second
shout
round
out?
sounds about right.
I gave him enough shout outs.
Oh, okay. Second round. I don't know, man. It's something I was thinking about when I was looking at it today, like players that fall, and imagine he falls like late second, early third. Now somebody could potentially be getting a 90-point guy in that round, and they've already got, let's say, a top defender and a top forward to go with him. That's kind of like what Lucas said. Like you almost have to take him that early, just so that doesn't happen.
I mean, then that team runs the risk if they get him in the third of not getting a goalie in the goalie round and then having goaltender issues.
In the
There's no
goalie
goalie round though. You
I
know,
know.
like
Unofficially, the third is pretty much the goalie round.
This is not like fantasy football when everyone chooses defense.
mhm,
Oh, we're
Everyone
going on a
takes
tight end run.
defense.
yeah. Look at the sales. When did you guys take 37, Joe? Do you know?
Oh God. Well, he's a part timer, so it's probably fourth or fifth. I don't know.
So you
Yeah, I
guys
think
didn't
so,
even
yeah.
touch a goalie until like 5th round.
Yeah. Well, we had what's his face?
DJ.
DJ. Yeah. We
Oh,
had
that's
DJ
right.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
37, so they were gonna split time.
Okay, and DJ was a third round pick. All right, but right now you're running with guys that weren't picked for goalie till fifth, and you're in the finals. So
Yeah. See.
I think that whole goalie round having to be early thing is bullshit. I think you
Yeah.
can get anywhere. You can get really far with a fifth round goalie.
Yeah. Aside from B Crips and maybe Chew, and I think everybody else can go late.
I think you're missing a
Mm.
I
player.
don't think I'm
I
forgetting
mean,
anybody.
you'll go far without like a top tier goalie in the third round, but it's not going to get you to the end. You're going to get into the finals with the Legion and 37 and hope to just roll the dice. Would you want to do that?
37 and Legion are both serviceable as fuck. They got us. We're here for a reason. It's not just one player. It's not just DMARC. Even though you guys
Serviceable's an
say
underhanded comment to make sure they have their morale up to start Monday night.
no, they're good goalies, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah,
Well, let's
I
end
know,
the.
but we know what you mean when you say serviceable.
Well,
Fact.
they're not
Well,
trash. I don't know what you.
All right,
They're
move
not.
on.
I think so. They're not top tier, but they get the job done. That's what you're saying.
Well, there's only two top tier goalies if you ask me. That's what I'm saying. There's only Chu and B Crips. Everybody else
How much did
is
Chu pay?
pretty.
How much does Chu pay you every time you drop his name?
Just about as much as Daly pays you, I guess, when you comment on his stuff.
Yeah, but he earns it.
Yeah,
Fact.
so Chew didn't earn it, huh?
Thank you, FactBot 3000.
Hey, excuse me. I need a fact check real quick. Who led the league in shutouts?
Chew
Not
therapy,
including
5
playoffs.
shutouts.
Who had the most regular season and playoff shutouts combined?
Drift King, 7 combined shutouts.
Who had the most regular season
Thanks.
Gamer
wins?
tag shout out.
Yeah, which team had the most wins?
Regular season wins.
Black Sails.
No, I mean for goalie. Come on, back.
What are we trying to confuse?
We're trying
So,
to overload
anyways,
FactBot.
so are you going back to me about the whole dank thing?
Yeah, I wanted to end with you on that and then just kind of close that topic. But like, it's just something I wanted to throw out there. I was thinking about it today, and like, Swag always goes. He seems to go second round, which is crazy. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know, but he seems to go second round, and I think Dank is on that same path. And like, there was so much negative energy around the guy, especially in the final weeks of the season, that I could literally see him going in round 3.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to put him just after this season and the shit that went down. Word travels really fast, obviously, since you've heard from so many people. I think it's great that he came out, said his piece, but it might have been too late for a majority of people. Where they want to see it before they say, okay, that's great, I mean, fucking Cortez is a buddy of his, real life buddy, and he even made comments about it. For that to happen, obviously, is bad. And my time on that team, I could see what everybody talked about with the negative comments, he always threatened to trade people. He always threatened to fucking do whatever. If you made a comment, he'd say, well, I'll fucking trade you, Great. That's great coming from the captain, Second series in and you're threatening people.
Yeah,
And then
I don't think he's
on his game
there
style,
to be a captain.
yeah, on his game style, the one thing about being a captain is you want to have people play the way you kind of want to play. You want you want your team to follow what you want, and that's going to make you a better captain. That's going to make you a better fucking player. Is when you have people that adjust to you and not the other way around, where you have like 5 people trying to adjust to just one person. So you bring it up, you talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
but then if you don't fucking do it yourself, um, that sends negative vibes all over hell. And that was my time on that. That's what I saw was we wanted to play a particular style, and it never came to fruition because it ended on his stick every time.
Well, Dank, if you're listening, man, and I don't know if you are, I always root for second chance guys. I wasn't around for the Swagger debacles years ago, so I only know him as a pretty good guy. So there's nothing saying that he can't turn it around and maybe be in that upper echelon of players and gain people's trust back and shit. So I hope he does that, and I just think that him captaining really he wasn't. I don't think he's cut out for it. No offense, Dank. Again, if you're listening, whatever. But even he admitted to me, he was like, "Dude, captaining made me an emo piece of shit. Like, I don't know what it was."
I like the guy outside of playing nights. Outside of playing
He's
nights,
always
I
been
had
good to
no
me.
problem with him.
I mean, he's had run-ins with other people. He's never had run-ins with me. He's always been good to me. Gave me a bunch of HUD cards, so that's kind of cool.
When Swag had his issues, it was a totally different thing. I mean, he was a jerk off during the game, but then he was a jerk off the rest of the time too. He would start shit all
Yeah.
the time. So that was.
And
just,
again, he's got a Lady Bing nominee.
fucking asshole.
Who?
What?
Me? I
Who?
didn't nominate him for Lady Bing. So for people who don't know how that works, right? Because that was a question I think one of you guys had asked. How do these guys get nominated? Or I saw that question asked. It's basically what they do is they have the media guys submit 5 names for each award. So in other words, if your name shows up on one ballot, right? Let's just say I nominated Swagger as one of my 5 for Lady Bing. I didn't, for the record. Somebody did. I didn't. But if it does come up, then you get on the ballot. I think that's how that works. So that's why you saw his name on the ballot. If the fact checker is listening, maybe he can check that fact. And I wonder who nominated Swagger.
So and just to throw it out there, I threw it in the chat box. Was it earlier this morning when people are asking about how the nominations worked? I didn't know if that was going to be like a out known thing, where we're going to announce, hey, the media guys and the admins took care of the fucking nominations. Now you guys vote.
Yeah, that's
really
how that's.
announced.
I don't think that's a secret.
Yeah,
I don't think that's. I mean, that's been talked about in the open, so I don't really think that's breaking news.
Yeah. So I threw it out there, and when I did, I was like, I don't know if we're supposed to say that shit, but I didn't really care because who cares?
If the fact checker needs a little more time, I got a question from an anonymous guy. He asks why
Daily?
Esoteric gets along with all the perceived douchebags.
Because I'm a douchebag.
Fact.
Is this like an inside joke? Like, do you mean that?
That was the
No,
best fact check
I mean-
of all night.
I don't understand the question.
That's exactly what it says. And
Ask
how
him
it
why
ends.
you get along with all the fucking douchebags. I think it's what the question is supposed to be.
Takes one to know one. What do you want me to say? I mean,
it was reconnecting. I don't know what happened there.
who
People
was?
typically get along with people they like.
Me and
2
Joe
peas in a
Thornton
pod.
I
have
mean, we don't
Volvo
have
coffee
drinks
in
with
the
each
fucking
other on
party.
weekends. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a bad guy. If he straightens out, that's all I can tell you.
I mean, I
mean,
agree. I just gave the question because if I don't, I'm gonna get yelled at. But I get along with Dank and Mitch Swagger too. I don't have the issues. I just hear about what happens.
Mm-hmm. And I know that question came from Daly too, when he should be working. And he's
not posting in the chat.
Fact check.
I'm surprised he hasn't called in yet.
he was heated last week. We're keeping it a lot more civil this week.
Yeah, well, we don't have
we're
Legion
a lot
in
more
here.
organized.
A lot more organized. This was less organized than last time. Just Legion didn't follow the fucking guidelines. Because, media shows are gay.
Oh yeah, making it less organized. We planned for the same thing, but it didn't happen.
Dude, we didn't even start talking about the show until like fucking 5 minutes before it.
And
it
should have thought
shows.
of that before you invited me.
Yeah, we actually talked about it with all of them, like, what, was it 20 minutes prior? 30 minutes prior? Something like that.
How you want to wrap this up? You want to start getting everyone's final take on this fucking upcoming championship? Because someone's going home with that belt. Pale, by the way, we have confirmation he's nutting up like the $8 is going to kill his pocket to send D-Mart the belt. So he's going to have his time with it, and then D-Mart will have to knuckle up like, $28 Canadian, which is like $5 American, right? So like he'll have to knuckle up some money to send it to you, Sober, and then you'll have to send it back to me. I'll have to get the name going on the belt. So whose name is going on the belt? Stealth Luca D. Start us off.
X Daily.
Oof. X Daily. So
I think
ultimately,
you
how
just
many
got a
games you
half
got
chump.
going?
6.
XDALY and 6. It says Luca. Jumbo Joe, what do you know? What do you got?
You Lori in 6.
Okay, 6 for both. Who do I want to go to? Fact checker. Let's go to the fact checker.
Fact checker doesn't have an opinion.
Season,
We already said that.
Throughout the season, the Black Sails have scored more than twice as many goals and points as the boys. Boys in 5.
Wow, that seems really contradictory.
That's
Okay,
logical.
we're gonna go to Steven. Go ahead, Steve.
It's gonna come down to the level of focus between the goalie and the forwards he's facing. I don't think Legion and 37 are gonna be able to handle our forwards, and I think I'm gonna keep track. I respect their 3 forwards a lot, but I think I'm gonna keep track of them and keep them in line. We're probably gonna win in 5.
And finally, Sober.
Fuck, I said it last series too. I guess I gotta go with Daly. Just it's playoffs. It's hard not to go against them. But if one person misses out of their lineup for say 3 games, it goes the other way.
So ultimately, you got Daly. What do you think? 6, 7? What do you think?
I'm saying 6 with at least one of the games in overtime. I don't think it's gonna be more than like 3-2.
I'm disappointed.
Okay. All right. I've gone back and forth in my own head on this one, and I'm just listening to the show and listening to you guys talk about it. I got Hugh Laurie in 4.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Oh, shots fired.
my boy,
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah, I got the sales in a sweep because
Let
it's
the
gonna
Texans
be like
commence.
that. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like that. It's just gonna be something stupid.
I'm waiting
that
for
no
Daly
one...
to call in.
Yep. There's got to be something
You know what?
happening.
Let me look at my phone just in case. Oh, he's not calling yet, so all is well. Maybe he's not listening. He's serving some fries. I just think it's going to be something crazy like that, and I want to be the one who predicted it.
All right,
You know, I mean, it's not that it's not.
Well,
It's
if you
not
want to
that
predict something
far-fetched.
crazy, change it to boys, and I'll say 4 as well.
Nice.
He's calling. All right, there's the call. Hold up. Welcome to the Esober Elitists. This is Eso.
Listen, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Me and my blessed boy Evan. Hello.
Hi, Evan.
You're listening to this crock of shit that you would put a sweep. Evan, what do you think about the sweep? I think that's complete bullshit. I think Daly's going to play lockdown. He's going to put everyone on an island. Yeah, that's about it. The guy knows. He knows what's happening. A sweep. You almost lost your best friend card. You literally almost just lost.
Hey,
Let me ask you a question.
Is this
While
a
you're on the
collect
show,
call?
let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to play left defense?
Nobody wants to see me play left defense.
Okay.
Against
well,
Dmart, though?
I have some bad news for you. There's a guy on the other team named Daniel Martin, and I've seen him do some shit, and I think he's going to do some shit. That's what I think.
Hallelujah.
Ask him
thing
about
about
his
Dan,
man
Best
crush
winger I've ever
game.
played with, best forward I've ever played with. But I know Dan better than anybody. I know his tendencies. I know where he likes to go. He knows what I like to do too. But the fact of the matter is, he's not on my side. I can contain Dan. I can help Odd Guy more defensively than Hugh Laurie and Burks are going to be able to help Dan offensively, if that makes any sense. I will be able to help
That doesn't make
Odd Guy with
any
D-Mart. And by the way, D-Mart had 5 points in 3 games versus Odd Guy. Odd Guy is the real deal. And if people don't understand that yet, they're going to after this, because he's the real deal. Our forwards are some of the best defenders around. Dalai Lama plays great D. There's a reason. Everybody bought into the system. Everybody bought into what we're doing, and that's why we're here. It's not any one person. All the joking aside, Evan loves this, by the way. But that's
Shout out to Evan, man.
That's it. Yeah, man. Shout out to Evan.
Shout out to
He's
Evan.
getting it done out here today, man. He's good. He's going back to school. Shout out Wisconsin Badgers.
But look, man, Joe Thornton came on the show today. Okay, we've been trying to get him for 2 months. He's a tough nut to crack. He came on the show. He picked his own team to win, and then I went around the whole table, and not another fucking person picked his team to win. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I think his team can win. You know what I'm saying? And why not predict a sweep? Because if it happens, holy shit, I look like a fucking genius. And if
Well,
not,
here's the thing about
I'm
Joe.
still an asshole. So what's the difference?
Here's the thing. Respect to Joe, because he should pick his team to win. You know, people get mad at me when I come on these things and say, "Oh, my team's going to do this," or "I'm going to put you on the island," or "You put your suntan lotion on," or whatever. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, he should be confident. He's in the finals. His team is one of the 2 best teams. 2 best teams are playing right now. I truly believe that, and he's there. He's a big reason for that too. So shout out to Joe Thornton, man. Can everyone give him a shout out really quick? Shout out to Joe, man.
Yeah, everybody, shout out to Joe, man, while we're here.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out
We
Joe.
might as well
Shout
do
out
it,
to
but
Joe.
back to the matter,
Shout out
I would
Joe
expect
Thornton.
Nothing less. I got my guy Drift. Drift's doing a great job on the show tonight, representing me for the 3rd week in a row. But yeah, man,
Good text.
that's the thing is that at the end of the day, he should be picking his team because that's the right play. But at the same time, I have a very confident group. We've played really good hockey. We've come off. We've given up 12 goals in 11 games. I want you to think about that for a minute. 12 goals in 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1.07 a game.
And in
That's
any
what
of those
Black Sails
games,
can do offense.
did you play the Black Sails?
Fact check on that goals
not.
against.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'll say this: we haven't played our best hockey. That Jagerbomb series was my worst series that I've played in 239. Fact, worst one.
What about the one you didn't show up
That
at?
was
Nah,
my
never
worst
mind. We won't go to that.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, you gotta show up to be bad, though, right?
Yeah,
All
that's
the
true.
games that I showed up for. That was easily my worst. I think Luca can attest to that. Dunn chirped me literally after
He
night
did.
one.
Yeah, he did chirp
You
you.
didn't even
100%
play bad.
chirped me, and he
Hey,
was
chirped you from the
I
golf
was
course.
I
Daily.
played terrible. Even night 2 I didn't play great, and we were still able to win in 5.
The only game you
But
played
again,
bad was
I
the
think
first
the
game.
team that
Well, once you get Daily going, he just
and I think it's
doesn't
going to be
stop.
tough to see. But a sweep is just ridiculous.
Motorboat.
Way to steal the show.
I'm literally at a loss for words.
Let them
man.
talk-
I
let them
might as well
talk, you
Just fucking
fucks.
drop Charlie Black into the free agency right now because that's what I feel. So
I didn't think you'd love it, so I just looked at my phone to see if you'd call in, and sure enough. But look,
and so it was made. I did. So it worked.
yeah. So the thing is, I think that the Sails can beat you guys. Do I realistically think 4? Probably not. But I mean, why not just predict 4?
Evan is literally staring at me, shaking his head every time you open your dick liquor. Every time.
Does Evan watch these games?
Evan loves it. Evan loves it. Evan's a fan.
Okay, so he doesn't watch shit. Evan doesn't know shit. The name Evan pisses me off. Period. To be honest with you, what a stupid fucking name. That's not a real name.
Even if Evan has not watched the game at all.
When you play against the boys, and that's all that he needs to know.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for calling into the show. We're getting ready to wrap it up here, man. Good luck in your series. You got Jumbo Joe to deal with out there. You got Daniel Martin to deal with out there. Berkey's going to be doing his thing. Hugh Laurie.
Hey,
It's going to be a good matchup.
One thing.
Yep.
One thing. Joe Thornton. Don't get shoulder dragged by a two-way right D, man, because I will never let you hear the end of it
I
again.
was on left
I've given
D,
you a
doesn't
free
count.
pass of late, but don't do it again, man.
He
That's
said,
all I'm gonna say.
Doesn't
okay,
count.
before you go, he said he was on left D and it doesn't count. That's what he said.
It 100% counts. It 100% counts. Absolutely counts. Anyways, have a good night. Good
Thanks,
show.
Dales.
I'll
We'll
see
talk to
later.
you.
Sweeps are done. Bye.
So there you have it, man. I knew he'd hate that, but that's my call. I have to stick with it. I have to live and die by it. So,
All right,
Joe,
wrap this
I
shit.
respected your opinion up until this point, and then you dropped that ridiculous prediction.
that's fine, man. And if it becomes right, they're going to be like, oh my God, remember that time that he said it was going to happen and it happened? Holy shit.
I mean, I'm sure go with them. Like, make it sound a little more believable.
He did. He just said 4.
Believable's boring,
I mean,
though.
honestly, not fucking-
Believable's boring. If I said sales in 7, it might be accurate, but it's boring. So why not just go for it? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know who Evan is, but I'm unimpressed with that fucking idiot. So.
Okay, take it easy on Evan. Shout out to Evan, first of all. I don't like
Fuck
the
you,
guy's
don't do shit.
prediction is just as valid as yours when you're spewing out four games for black sales. Like Evan probably could have fucking made a better prediction than that.
We're going to find out, man. Steven, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, because the fact of the matter is, all kidding aside, I'm happy with whoever wins this cup. These are two great fucking teams, and I pretty much like everybody on them anyway, so I'm happy either way. When I say pretty much, I mean, Daly's annoying. So that would be annoying to have to look at him every week with that belt on.
Oh, man. Oh, man,
Yeah,
when that
he
belt
can't
gets to
take
me,
it.
I have plans. There might be a video recording of plans happening.
So I mean, I don't think Pale's really capitalized on it because, like I said, my face with that belt would be on the site every day. I'd front page post every day. Hey guys, guess what I'm doing today? Eating a bowl of Cheerios with a belt. Look, check it out.
I know it's coming to my work and it's sitting on my desk. And I work in front of, I don't know, 150 people. Like, they just, it's like a wide open area. There's no fucking, like, cubicles and shit. It's just wide open. And it's going to be sitting there right on top of my fucking monitor. Just bang. But there might be some sexual stuff happening, too. I'll keep that on the down low.
I mean, you can do whatever you want to that belt while it's in your possession, but you're gonna jinx yourself from winning a real belt any other season if you do
A
anything.
real belt.
You take
Yeah, Sober,
a
real belt.
you ever gonna go back?
Well, what
Sober?
is this
You ever
belt
gonna
talk?
captain again?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a comeback probably after this next season.
You're gonna
Well, there you
draft
go.
me and trade me again. It's gonna be 3 for 3.
Fuck you, Luca.
Yeah, Luca's a little salty about that. We were talking about that earlier before we went on the air. Like, it's all you do is you draft him and trade him. Like, why do you ever pick him? Do you hate him? Like, what's... I don't get it.
I'll get into it.
He doesn't want to get into it on the air, Luca.
Different circumstance would have been different, but hindsight's 2020.
I mean, I wouldn't be a guest on the show if I didn't bring up Justice League at least once. So I mean, the season I captained, and I think you were already traded off my team, Esso, but
No, that
Sober
was the
very
trade.
Sober was.
That-
oh yeah, okay, yeah, true. Jeez.
It was Luca
so-
for me.
Sober called me extremely, or whatever, texted me extremely emo, and it was him. And for some reason, Hugh Laurie was managing his team at the same time. So I was getting
Right.
trade offers from Hugh and Sober at the exact
Right.
same time. And then I was like mulling them over
What
with you
life?
at the
What
same-
life are you living in?
It
I mean,
happened. I don't know if you blacked out drunk, but it
are you
happened.
dreaming? Are you like, oh my god, back then was
I
getting
could
all
go
these
back, and the messages are still going to be there from you and Hugh minutes apart.
And I was never emo. Never once was I fucking emo.
Hey, Hugh said you.
I was
checked
emo
out.
when you wouldn't
I'm gonna-
fucking answer it. Yeah, I was fucking emo with that. I was emo when you were
I
giving me
don't
the,
know.
it's only because
I don't know.
you
I'll
gotta
take,
give it more
I'll
time.
Take the, I'll
You
take
gotta
the
give it more
facts
time.
in the messages I still have.
Oh, and who was the one that was sending me all the messages pre-draft? And right after I drafted Luca, saying, "Oh, Luca's connection is shit. He's gonna drop every game he plays." Blah,
And it was
blah,
still
blah,
bad
blah,
this season.
blah.
Dunn brought it up on the last show, trying to use it as a scare tactic. I told him, I don't care if Luke has a good connection or a bad connection. He's one player, and he's not going to win you the series. And look what happened.
But why
I'm
would you
back here
come to me
today.
before there's even a trade on the fucking anything? You come to me starting talking about kind of a buddy of yours. It's been that way for quite a while. Telling me about all this shit about his
I considered trying to get him, but I wasn't going to be for the price of Esso at the beginning of the season. I budged at the end.
So you were trying to pull a drift move, saying, "Oh my God, you gotta get rid of Luka. He's gonna drop. Here, I'll give you fucking fucking Jets killer."
Wait, hold on. I was gonna get rid of Luka for Jets killer. Think about what you just said. I was trying to get rid of Luka. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, this became the Justice League show. Someone wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we are wrapping it up, to be honest with you. 11:24 time. I don't know. Sober, you want to play some puck? Anyone want to play?
Oh, I'm down to play do puck.
What about Jumbo? Shout out to Joe. You coming out? You going to play? Or what's the story? Yeah, he's in. Luca's in. They're all in. Everybody's in. Let's go play hockey, man. Let's blow this fucking joint.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Sales in 4. Sales in 4.
Shout out to Evan.
Fuck Evan. Sales in 4.